Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawadah from the Men of Valor Camp in Greenville, South Carolina, coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth. Lord willing, it could be edifying. And I'm going to do this video, man. You know, it's been a little while since I, did a video on a damn woman or whatever. But nonetheless, as we stand upon our watch, we pay attention to what's going on geopolitically, economically, on the war fronts. And there's a lot happening there too. Lord willing, I can come back later and I'll do another video on different developments because BB has touched down in Mar-a-Lago in Florida, Palm Beach. Just yesterday, Trump, met with Zelensky, and today he's meeting with Netanyahu. And just yesterday, Iran, pretty much officially declared war on Europe, mainly of NATO, on Israel, and on America. Okay, so there's a lot going on, but in the I guess in the pop culture world, all right, something that's been happening is this guy Cassinet, if you know who he is. Brothers pretty much should know who he is. He's become a popular streamer and whatnot. Everybody talking about this breakup he had with his girlfriend, which, I don't know who the girl is or nothing like that. I don't watch the guy like that. But nonetheless, I guess the girl's name is Gigi or Gabrielle or some shit like that. But she a nigga woman, okay? And she's earned that that title, man. But nonetheless, she's been on stream with him and shit like that. And here it is, he's bringing in millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, shit like that, and this is just a cautionary tale, all right? Because in no wise would we be touching millions of dollars on this side. And this just shows you if these guys that are making all this money, if they're still prone to get fucked over by women, all right, then hey, how much more us, man? All right, because these women are about carnal as hell. They don't see our intrinsic value of being men of Yahweh Shai, and they won't see it until they've been stripped of everything that this society has propped them up for. This society has allowed them to move how they move, to think men are expendable, and to look at men as just pet wallets. All right, and I'm gonna play a couple videos and grab a couple scriptures, but again, this is just a cautionary tale, man, and to myself first and foremost, because to be real, the Lord created us as men. And as Israelite men, we like women, and we like women of different varieties and whatnot. All right, and there's nothing wrong with a beautiful woman. All right, but hey, we have to be grounded as men. Okay, one thing about that America and the world does not have, and it's grounded men. All right, men that don't get all start fumbling all over these women. All right, there has been a shift. All right, with the whole red pill shit. And you got Kevin Samuels, you got those guys, and guys are starting to pretty much like, all right, man, I don't feel like getting finessed no more. I don't want to be a stepdad and shit like that. 'Cause especially when you deal with the so-called black woman, all right, more than likely they already have children. Okay. This just shows you, man, what, how society moves and shit when the father's taken from the home, or you got just weak jellyback ass fathers that let their daughters and do whatever. Because you'll have them chicks that do have their father in their life and be like, well, my daddy do this and my daddy do that. My daddy spoiled. Yeah, your daddy was supposed to make sure you was married off too. All right. But nonetheless, not to start looping or anything, but just, this situation just, made me think, like the script say, let all things be done unto edification, and this is a moment to, you never know who, who's new. You never know who needs to hear it in the moment because, in this truth, we are allowed to have a chick, have a squeeze or whatever, have a rib, if you want. Now, the Apostle Paul, he gave some recommendations, all right? It wasn't law, all right? It wasn't a decree saying like, hey, you should be as him. But he said, look, I'd rather you be as me, all right? But it's better to marry than to burn, and marriage, the true marriage comes through the act of sex, all right? Marriage has been so diluted here because everybody out here just fucking, just to be real, so they don't see, so. And I've had conversations with people and women, and they absolutely don't see sex as marriage, But back in the ancient world, that was, hey, when a woman, when she slept with a man, that was her husband. And if she stepped outside of that, all right, her ass would get disowned, man, and possibly get put to death. All right, and that just shows we're in a different time. But nonetheless, man, let's get this. This is Sirach chapter 25 and verse 21. It says, "Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure." Okay, and again, everything comes with balance. All right, because hey, the Lord is going to grant brothers with beautiful women here and there, but you got to count that balance, because sometimes a beautiful woman can be a test, all right, or a snare. All right, the scriptures say, "I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets." See, so the act of a woman coming around you, because what could she be wanting? All right, and these women got all these type of men in their phones. I've seen it. I've fucking seen it. They rotating 3-4 men, maybe even more. Got all type of bodies in their closet. Men they dealing with emotional fucking baggage, all that shit. All right, and you got these guys that grow up. And Castanet is just another example of that, because he's a younger man. He's probably in his early 20s. 21, 22, something like that, 23 maybe. And in that time where, hey, Jake be wanting a little squeeze, man. Jake be wanting to be loved. Nothing wrong with that. All right, but these women, they do not fucking love you around here, man. They are there, they some sack chasing skeezers. That's what I'm gonna title this video. Beware of sack chasing skeezers, And there's levels to this shit. You got some that chase these rappers, these celebrities, like in the instance I'm about to show you. And you got some that, they want to see what they can extract off of you. All right, they want to play on your emotions. All right, I had a chick hit me up the other day, kind of had a little rapport with her here and there throughout the months. But she done went and had a child, and guess what? Of course, the child's father is nowhere to be fucking found. All right, and I guess she got into it with her father. She got into it with her dad, and the dad kicked her and the child out. And the child can't be more than a couple months. To my understanding, through SNAP and all that shit, the child had some health complications and shit like that. But nonetheless, she's texting me like, "Oh, my dad just kicked us out in the cold. Damn, that's a sad story." What? And she's looking for me to come to the rescue. All right, and there's niggas out here, there's simps out there that will jump to a woman's rescue in situations like that. All right, we ain't in the time of being a damn simp mangina, man. All right, and that's facts. And so I ain't really respond, but I actually saw on Snapchat the other day, or just 2 nights ago, her ass in the club, smoking a blunt. All right, so they show you, man. Hey, they looking for the nearest sucker. And Akim, don't set yourself in a position to be that sucker, man. All right, and I had to, I was in a relationship for a long time, while in the truth, and the Lord has freed me from that relationship. And I've had some time to be able to be alone. And I'll tell you, man, just from my perspective, I'd rather be alone. I'm in that Apostle Paul spirit. Not necessarily to not be sexually active, all right, because there's avenues, man. But to be seriously trying to take a woman serious, I'm definitely not in the mood to be having more children on this side, but it's all up to the Lord, of course. I'd rather wait till Isaiah 4:1. I'd rather wait for Jacob's trouble, all hell to break loose. All right, when the dynamic shifts, because right now, all right, these women are not going to act right. All right, while they still have these apartments and these cars and niggas willing to throw money at them, they're not going to respect us as men. All right, it won't be until, and the scriptures, highlight that. All right, once the vintage fails and the gathering doesn't come, then they're going to want to seek to the strongest man. And as the Lord, in the same breath, the Lord is turning his men into more precious than fine gold. All right, and that's where Isaiah 4:1 is going to come from, because it's not going to be about how many Instagram followers you got, what you can do for them. It's going to be solely, can I be under you for protection? And so that I'm not made a reproach. That's what that goes into. It's not really about us heaping to ourselves a bunch of women. It's going to be the fact that the women's support system is going to utterly fall. It's going to collapse, and they're going to seek the closest. They're going to seek the men that are stable. All right, because these niggas that wear the chains and the ice and all that shit, they're not going to be sought after, man. They're going to be through. They're not going to know what to do. The only ones that are going to have that provision are the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So it's going to flip. But going back to the point, stumble not at the beauty of a woman. I'm going to get into this, like I said, this this whole little situation just, put the spirit on me to speak on this, And there's other things to cover as well, but the scriptures do forewarn about women. All right, and if it wasn't important, it wouldn't be written. All right, that's just straight up. But check this out.
Yep, this nigga's a capper. He's never been a motherfucking trapper. Yep. Okay, I know it seems like a lot, but you're Santa Claus and you get people's stuff. Like, come on. G-Wagon, black, pink interior. It's very detailed. I just feel like, for safety reasons, I did want a pink outside, but for safety reasons, I just feel like maybe it should be pink in the inside, so I still get that pink vibe.
Now, it's easier for me to just get through life alone. I'm just gonna get you a new purse. I'm just not gonna get you a new this. I'm just gonna get you a new that. And it's like, yeah, like that stuff be cool because it's like, okay, now like I got it. But it's like, no, I just really wanted somebody that was there to just listen and just, somebody I could open up to.
You told me I would never drive this car.
Yes, but I'm making you drive it because I'm
no, you're not making me. I'm
letting you drive it.
No, you're not letting me.
I'm allowing you.
No, you're not allowing. I wanted to drive this car.
Oh, baby. Oh.
And let me just stop it right here. This is just the dynamic between how the damn nigga, it don't matter. Look, he has far more influence than her. He has far more money than her. Just to make this, these are facts. These ain't even opinions, man. And if some woman want to get on my comment board arguing about this, go argue with your fucking mother. All right. But look how she speaks to him. Is this somebody that is showing reverence to her man? And the scriptures speak about that. Sirach, the 25th and 26th chapter goes into that. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. All right, now, to put it back in perspective, this nigga Kai, he's a nigga in the world. All right, but he is an Israelite man. And look at the dynamic. Even when he's somebody that has influence, he's arguably one of the biggest streamers on earth. All right, next to outside of like Kai, Speed and a couple more people. All right, but he really, he up there. He done had all types of celebrities on this platform. And look how she speaks to him. And I mean, he was right. I made you drive this car. And she's on camera like, I drove it because I wanted to. The self-willed nigga woman, man. Don't want to show her man any reverence. You saw the other videos. The one she talking about the damn the G-Wagon. That was just a couple days ago. And apparently they had broke up because he didn't buy her the G-Wagon, which he definitely has enough money to buy her the G-Wagon. He didn't fucking want to. Nor is that man obligated to buy you a fucking G-Wagon. She's materialistic. And that's why when all hell breaks loose and all these goodies get taken from you women, you're going to be fucking through, man. The hair, the nails, all that shit, man. And it's not just the nigga woman. It's not. All right. It's most of these damn women. All right. America has straight up poisoned the well when it comes to these women and their mindsets and how they move toward men. They don't respect us. But nonetheless, that's why the apostles and elders have been saying, hey, get you a damn Edomite woman or get you a heathen woman. Because at least they show some reverence, man. You're not going to necessarily have these same type of open issue. She's not going to sit there and openly be trying to disrespect you. But going back, apparently he didn't buy her the damn G-Wagon. And allegedly, that nigga NBA Youngboy bought her the damn G-Wagon or some shit. So I think she got the G-Wagon. That's why they broke up. Or apparently she cheated on him or some shit like that. And he got on the internet and said, I'm single, I'm never getting in a relationship again. Which is smart. All right, protect yourself, man. He also got, and he should be moving, wisely, because he got into some shit with some nigga woman he was dealing with that was trying to extort him for like $5,000 or some shit. That he was popping on the side, which it ain't nothing wrong with that, whatever. That's why you rather just pay at the hole, for real, man. Even my grandfather taught me that, before he passed, man. Because these women, man, they ain't not out here for love, man. They out here to they're hypergamous by nature. They want to secure the bag. And once the well runs dry, she'll find a new nigga. All right, and that's just their mindset. Until the Lord comes and really shakes this thing up, which he's about to do, this is how these women are moving. So it will behoove us to move accordingly. Deal with their ass accordingly, man. And the Lord is putting a cold spirit on us toward these women any fucking way. All right? But she's speaking as if, and I'm going to finish this out, she's speaking as if he was created to serve her ass. And we're going to get the scriptures how the Lord set this thing up, man. Like I said, man, we taking a situation that's of the world, and And we're filtering it through the scriptures because it does still apply. You know, this is a lesson that can be taken from this. All right.
You. Oh, you couldn't like tell me no.
Oh, pull this over right now.
And this, I mean, he should have had some discernment. She's a known pass around. All right, she's a damn pass around apparently, but nonetheless. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, and let's start up. In verse 3 it says, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Heavenly Father." That is the divine order. Okay? We don't sit here and buck up about Yahushua being our head. Neither does Yahushua sit up and buck up about the Heavenly Father being his head. The only one that got a fucking issue at this point in time is the woman getting upset that the man is supposed to be her head. Okay? Now, us as a people, we did rebel against our power. You know, we committed spiritual adultery, and that's why we were punished. All right, but hey, and the Lord, in a sense, is showing us what it felt like, because now our women are in full rebellion against us. All right, and through the kingdom, it will be restored. All right, hey, the Judite woman, the northern kingdom woman, and the southern kingdom woman will be in order in the kingdom. They'll be beautiful. They'll have their hair. They'll be gorgeous, man. They'll be in order, and they will be fully in alignment with you as an Israelite man, not the other way around. So that's why, you know, I still don't get why these guys are trying to build here, because, you know, more than likely when men try to get more money and shit, they trying to get some box. But hey, this shows you, even at the highest levels, these women still go and will fuck you over, man. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl. I was speaking with a brother about this. Tom Brady has more Super Bowl rings than teams have Super Bowl rings. He is the most decorated football player in NFL history. There is no debate. He has more rings than everybody. Okay? Doesn't mean he ran the fastest, but his team got the shit done, and he was the quarterback. All right? And like apostles have said, you know, hey, he's a Jake through the spirit, you know? Because only Jake can pull shit out like that, you know? But nonetheless, he was with a supermodel wife, and she gave his ass the ultimatum to retire, you know, and shit like that. She was fucking the judo teacher. And then she got knocked up by him, married to him, and now she didn't divorce the judo teacher, and now she marrying another sucker. So that shows you, man. And as long as women are allowed to do this shit, they're going to continue to do it. Don't think they about to sit here and do right by you if they don't have to. If the law and you know, society tells them that they could just trade you out, you know, trade their ass out, man. There's more of them than there are of us. Just to put it plainly, there are more of them. All right, but nonetheless, this is the order. And let's jump down. It says, verse 7, it says, "For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, for as much as he is the image and glory of the Most High, but the woman is the glory of the man." Right? Our woman is our glory, man. That's why it ain't nothing wrong with, you know, hey, if you do got a shorty and she down, there's nothing wrong with, you know, buying some shit for your shorty, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. So her even asking for the G-Wagon and shit isn't necessarily out of pocket, but look how she was going about it. What is she doing to serve him? If she's serving him, making sure he eats, you know, making sure his life isn't hard, being a pillar of rest under him, then he wouldn't have an issue. But hey, he didn't buy the shit. And it's not because he didn't have the money. He probably already peeped game, like, nah, this bitch just want me for my paper, man. And that's probably what he's more heartbroken about. He's not really heartbroken about her cheating, or probably even her in particular. He's more heartbroken at the fact that he didn't got this money and these bitches still won't act right. And that's why he said, hey, I'm not getting in relationships no more. Because at this point, he's too famous for the shit. There's no chicks that's gonna want him for him. Okay? And even if they do, they're gonna have a hard time proving it because of his status. Same thing with us, Akim. When the Lord puts us on high, hey, and that's why we will have that discernment. We're gonna be able to read a bitch spirit when they come up to us during Isaiah 4:1, because we see right now, hey, bros might have chicks that's down for them and shit like that, but it's less likely, and less frequent. But when all hell breaks loose and brothers are doing well, for the circumstances and everybody else is out here starving, yeah, you're gonna have a influx of women coming up. You're gonna have hella women coming up. But are you coming up because you really fuck with me? No, you coming up because you're trying to survive. And the Lord is gonna, allow us to discern their minds to see if it's pure or not. And we're gonna be like brothers have been saying, we're gonna be rejecting a lot of women in Isaiah 4:1. We ain't about to be taking a bitch just because she pretty. What can you do? How can you add unto me? How can you help me? Not the other way around. So going back, the woman is the glory of her man. He's a representation of his provision. Verse 8, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. And that's where the nigga woman got this shit misconstrued, man. All right, thinking that, the woman is the womb and, all races come from. I didn't heard that bullshit before. No. What does the scripture say right here? You even got Christian women that still be in that feminist queen of heaven spirit. It says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Read it. The woman was created for the man. She was created to be a helpmeet unto her husband. We were not created to just fucking buy you shit and make sure you all good and cozy all the fucking time, man. All right? The only time you get that is if you're aligning with our purpose. If you're getting behind our mission, getting behind our program. That is what's acceptable. Not just gimme. Because that's the mindset of most of these damn women. Gimme. With no reciprocity. Okay? So, brothers, beware, okay, of these scab peeling, sack chasing skeezers, man. All right? Lord willing, is edifying, to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.